Hi, welcome back. Stop the tour bus. We're abandoning our world tour where I have a rant. Some of the beers I picked up for the road trip have not been good. Okay, this is a cider, but it's still not good. This is Spar's original dry cider. Cheap and cheerful. It's what I would call a manufactured cider, but not bad. And I had some friends over for the weekend, form part of our social bubble under this COVID-19 sort of restrictions that we have in Wales. Social distancing was observed. Picked up some beers and some cider, and this one was a big disappointment. They must have changed the recipe, because under no stretch of the imagination is it what I would call a dry cider. And it's just a big disappointment. As I said, this was cheap and cheerful, a good go-to cider. I think you could pick up about 4 cans for about $2.75. And, it was what it was. But, boy, this is such a disappointment. So, it looks as it does before. We've got sort of a light sort of golden clear. These sort of cheaper ciders tend to have a lot of forced carbonation because they're not naturally brewed. And this can actually be quite refreshing, gives you that refreshing sort of mouthfeel, a bit of a bite to it. On the nose, much of an apple, almost like cider lollies. It's that type of apple aroma. And again, this is something that they sometimes add with the cheaper versions of a cider. So they add flavourings to it, and it gives you that aroma. And then you go in for the taste and you think, okay, I remember, it's dry, but it's not going to be, dry as a badger's gnat, I was going to say, but it's not going to be overly dry. But this one, mouthful of sugar. Under no stretch of the imagination could this be called a dry cider. I'm talking those people back in the day were drinking woodpecker, the Hereford Lightning. It's woodpecker sweet. And I just think, I was so disappointed because it was like a cheap go-to cider. But under no stretch of the imagination can this be called dry at all. And I just wonder, what they think they're playing at. On the back it does list all the ingredients. Before it just used to say cider with sugars and sweeteners. So we've got water, apple juice from concentrate. Well, it is a budget cider, so yeah, I can appreciate that. Glucose syrup. Separately, glucose fructose syrup. Then separately, burnt sugar syrup. Well, I suppose that's to give the colour. And then we've got the acidity regulator and preservatives. But, oh man, talking about ruining a good thing. There's nothing wrong with cheap and cheerful at all. But, such a disappointment. If you do like a sweeter cider, if Magners is your thing, or as I said, if you're still drinking Hereford Lightning, I was going to say that's the old name. If you're still drinking woodpecker, which is still on the market, and you do like a sweeter cider, then, you're not going to go wrong with this, but talk about a mouthful of sugar. There is an apple flavour. After the mouthful of sugar, there's an apple flavour on the back of it. But it's very much that artificial flavour. In the past, I would have recommended this. It is what it is. It's not bad and quite drinkable. But for me, oh dearie, it's just not drinkable at all. If you're interested, it's a 4.5 by volume, comes in a 440ml can. And in Wales, because we have the minimum unit pricing, it was £4 for £3.99, I think it was, for 4 cans. But the only good thing, if you are vegan, it is vegan. But, you know, there you go. Rant over. I think I'll go and find something decent to drink. Drink less and better. Be good to yourselves. If you could hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And the next time we meet, I promise I'll go for something decent in my hand. Cheers.